List 3 symptoms associated with a lumbar disc herniation. Explain the difference between the 2 main surgical treatments for disc herniations. Discuss 1 pro and 1 con for 1 surgical treatment and 1 non-surgical treatment for the lumbar disc herniation.
Hello, PJ. How are you feeling today?
Not great, doctor. After my tackle 6 weeks ago, I've been having pain radiating down my leg. My foot goes completely numb sometimes, and I've had trouble moving it. I've never herniated a disc before.
I got your MRI back that you took last week, and it's evident that not only was your lumbar disc herniated, but it is putting pressure on your spinal nerve, which is causing these persisting symptoms.
I know other players on my team have had this, but to be honest, I don't really know what that means.
Could you describe the symptoms of a lumbar disc herniation to PJ? If not, sit on your foot for the rest of this video. You'll see.
The intervertebral disc is made up of an outer portion called the annulus fibrosus, a fibrous structure that holds an inner jelly layer called the nucleus pulposus. When the annulus fibrosus breaks down due to trauma or degeneration, the nucleus pulposus is able to leak through the weak layers of the outer disc. The jelly-like layer then leaks out of the annulus fibrosus into the spine. Here, the nucleus pulposus can put pressure on the surrounding blood vessels and nerves. The nerve root extends down the leg, and any type of pinching or pressure on the nerve in the lower spine can cause symptoms that radiate along the sciatic nerve path. I want to make sure we work together moving forward. Are you under any pressure to be returning to play? Knowing where you want to go from here will help us work together to create the best individualized treatment plan for you.
I want to be back on the field by next season. This is my job. I want to go ahead with a treatment plan that will maximize my chances of returning to the NFL. I originally saw another doctor and he started me on epidural injections, but it has been 6 weeks and the pain is not subsiding.
I have several options for you.
I just searched on WebMD and it looks like disc herniations can heal with physiotherapy. Maybe I just need more time with the physio.
WebMD isn't the best source for a reliable treatment plan, and in your particular case, your disc is more severely herniated and will need more aggressive approach, as your symptoms are not subsiding. There are a couple of possible options moving forward that I would like to discuss with you today. The first treatment is the continuation of the epidural injections your other doctor has had you on. This is the most conservative method. The second treatment option is a surgical treatment called discectomy. The third treatment option is a sequestrectomy surgical procedure.
Will continuing with the epidural injections be helpful?
In general, the injections are believed to cause a neural blockade that intercepts pain input and reduce inflammation by inhibiting pro-inflammatory mediators. Currently, you are receiving caudal injections, which are the safest and easiest of the 3 available injection treatment plans.
Are the other injections better than the caudal ones? And is that why I'm not seeing results?
Not likely, as this injection is the preferred modality with strongest evidence in its favor in comparison to the lumbar interlaminar injection and the transforaminal injection. Considering the fact that you are young and hope to return to play in the NFL for years to come, we need to shift your original treatment plan. One of the drawbacks of the injection treatments are that the long-term effects are unknown. Because you want a long career, we may not want to rely on a short-term treatment.
So, surgery it is. When can we schedule it?
Not so fast. It's not that simple. Lumbar disc herniations are common, and therefore there are different methods and procedures available. We need to come to a decision about what surgical treatment will be best for meeting your treatment goals, both short and long term. And because these procedures are so common, once we decide on a treatment, we will have no problem finding you a more than qualified surgeon to execute the procedure.
What is the difference between the discectomy and the sequestrectomy treatment you mentioned earlier?
Discectomies are performed to remove a portion of the herniated disc that is inflamed or irritating the nerve root. There is a small incision made in the middle of the back. Sometimes a small portion of the facet joint is removed to access the nerve root. The herniated portion of the disc is then removed, and the healthy part is left intact. With a sequestrectomy, is considered to be a more conservative surgical approach that involves removing damaged disc fragments without entering the disc space, leaving the rest of the disc intact.
If you don't enter the disc space during a sequestrectomy, would you say it is less likely to be successful because you may not be able to reach the entirety of the problem?
Because a sequestrectomy does not involve the resection of an entire vertebral disc, as the discectomy does, you would retain greater vertebral stability and disc height, which is associated with the lower incidence of other lower back problems.
So I have the option of receiving one of two surgical treatments. I know there can be surgical complications though. Does one have a higher rate of surgical complications? Because if one is better for return to play, but I have a 90% chance of dying during the surgery, then we may need to reprioritize these treatment plans.
Well, a meta-analysis found no significant differences in intraoperative blood loss, hospitalization time, complication rate, reherniation rate, or reoperation rates between patients undergoing discectomies versus sequestrectomies. Although there are always risks associated with surgery, there is no difference between these two treatments.
Will one of these treatments reduce the pain I'm experiencing? I may be able to play after surgery, but I will never be as good if I'm in constant pain.
Sequestrectomies have been shown in a prospective study to significantly reduce postoperative pain and improve sensation on the affected side. Moreover, this pain reduction was associated with a significant improvement in the patient's quality of life.
I want to make sure that myself, as an NFL player, have the greatest chance of playing again. Are you sure that surgery will give me the greatest chance of that?
Studies have shown that NFL players who receive surgery are more likely to return to play and have improved symptoms in comparison to those who receive non-surgical treatments.
Well, I've asked all my questions, and I feel really informed about my treatment plans. I think we should start looking for a surgeon that can do the sequestrectomy as soon as possible.
Now that you have listened to PJ's consultation with his doctor, can you list one pro and one con for receiving surgery in PJ's case? Oh, hey! Are you still sitting on your leg? Has it gone numb? Feeling pins and needles, maybe? What you are feeling is very similar to one of the symptoms of a lumbar disc herniation. Okay, now back to the summary. And thanks for watching.